Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man. We're looking at a Janome, and it's the model number. What is the model number? 731. The Janome 731. And this one is not like the previous one I just made a video about. I just made a video about the heavy-duty Singer. I guess it was a 6620, something like that. This one is, I think, every bit as heavy-duty as the Singer 6620, which means it's not heavy duty. It's just a nice little machine. Now, this one is as good as anything out there, better than most, but that's not a real compelling sales pitch to go, hey, there's a nice little Janome. It's as good as anything out there and better than most, but that's what I say about this Janome. It's a front load, which is my favorite, front load 15 class, like all the 158 Kenmores I'm always telling you about that I like so well. And it has a 15 class hook assembly, which is made out of chrome plated, nickel plated, something plated, smooth and hard with plated steel or whatever it is. And it goes in here like so. And you can tell at a glance whether it's in timing or not just by looking at the motion of the daggone hook. You can tell in a heartbeat whether the timing is off or not, which makes it nice for someone who's gonna try to sew on it or repair it, or it's not skipping stitches. You're like, what's going on? Well, you look down here. Let's get this a little closer because that's going to be too far away to make the point. And you folks will be rightfully complaining that you couldn't see it. You know, you folks tell me stuff like that, and I listen, and you're right. If you say you couldn't tell, then I didn't do you any service by not doing it properly. Okay, let's tilt this back, get a little closer. I'll put it on zigzag, which is C on this machine, and I'll make sure the needle's descending in its right-hand swing. It swings left. See it swinging left, the pendulum timing up and over, down. When it gets to the right, go here, put my finger there so it'll focus maybe. And as it rises up, let's get it off this, get it on that. Well, we'll get it figured out here somehow. There it goes. See, when it comes down on the right-hand side, it comes in right above the eye of the needle. The point of the hook, I'll get it here in a second, comes in right above, see, right above the eye of the needle. Getting my high dollar emphasis pointer, my Allen wrench, right there. You see the eye, and right above the eye is the point of the hook. Comes in right above the point of the hook because that is where the timing is set as the needle rises on the right hand side on its widest setting. And you'll also double check at a glance by looking and see, does the thread gap, which is going to occur down here, that's where your thread gap's going to be, it's going to occur just past halfway. See, there's halfway, cutting the circle in half, there's halfway. Just past halfway, the thread's going to slip out and lock, or slip out this way rather, and lock the stitch. That's the way it works. Now, this customer was complaining because it was jamming. And what causes a jam quite often is the point of the hook gets a burr on it. It's got a little snag on the end where it's rolled over just a little bit. And you can catch your nail on it right there. You can catch your nail on it, it'll catch the thread, and the thread won't release and it'll jam. And then along the edges, you'll see, this will pick it up, just a couple little dings where the needle has hit it. And it didn't ruin it, it didn't poke a hole in it like on the Singer. Drop in. This has a chrome, and I put on the jeweler's wheel and I'll polish that out. I'll make this as good as new, and it'll sew good as new again. Now, another thing with this you got to be careful about, you need to put a drop of oil in this shuttle assembly down here. They call it the race. Everybody has different names for this stuff. We call it the race, the shuttle assembly. Down there, a drop of oil with your extended spout needle oiler. Put a drop there, and then your hook is running on a layer of oil back and forth. Otherwise, chrome is running on this soft alloy and it will grind it away. And I bathed it, wiped it, bathed it, wiped it. Now when I wipe it, it comes out like this. And you're like, wow, that's some kind of grease, isn't it? Nope, that's actually microscopic pieces of metal. It's called metal shaving. because when there's no oil in between the two surfaces, you'll get the hook assembly will just be grinding away on the dadgum race assembly, on the race there itself, on the hook assembly. It'll be grinding away on it as it goes back and forth, and it'll grind that off, and then eventually this will not be round, it will become egg-shaped, and then it'll be too late to save it. If you can keep a drop of oil in here every 2 bobbins, just put a drop there, and you can put a drop with the hook assembly assembled with the retainer ring on it. You know, the retainer ring, I have a video how to put this all back together. It's one of my most popular videos. It has like 800,000 views, because taking this apart is something you need to do from time to time. And of course, getting it back together is essential. Left one goes to the left, right one goes to the right, and when you put it back together, the right one snaps to the left one snaps to the right. If you don't do it exactly that way, it will not function, okay? So you take your bobbin case out. If your bobbin case is in it, you take the bobbin case out, take the needle to its highest point, and then just to the left where the hook is there, in that little place, you put a drop of oil. And then, you know, you've already previously wiped it out, of course, and put the oil on it. But every 2 bobbins, that's where you put your drop of oil as you're sewing. And that thing will make it nice and smooth and quiet. It's a nice machine. It's a Janome. I like them. They're well made. I recommend them over a lot of machines. You know, I'm a big fan of the Janome, the Juki, and the Bernina. They just seem to be well made to me. And I have less problems with them, and my customers do the same sewing as they do on the other ones, but these tear up less. You know, the new machines are not like the old ones. They're going to have situations, but they can be remedied. I can take the shrouds off, take the screw off the center of this one. This comes off. Take the screws off the top of this one, and I can get access up here to the top. You know, I can clean this all out, blow it all out, wipe it all out, put a drop of oil. Everything that pivots, hinges, rotates or slides, it gets a drop of oil. It's got oil bearings here. Every place that you can see move, you see where it hinges and rotates, give it a drop of oil. It's just not too hard to figure these babies out. They can be serviced by the owner, especially when they're like this, and you can take off the various components, the shrouds rather, the covers, and put your oil where it needs to be. It's not hard to do. This one's got a nice 15 class release on the side over here with a clutch release, so you can get your bobbin wound. It's all old school in that regard, and that's why I like it. Makes a nice little machine. Okay, so that's how to do that. If your hook timing's off, of course, over on the right there, I show you how to do that in another video. If the needle bar height is off, I show you how to do that in another video. Take your little 2mm Allen wrench. You're gonna be using this in a lot of these new machines because almost all their needle bar settings are with the 2mm. Where you see the driver go over to the needle bar, that driver, that's where the 2mm bolt's gonna be. It's gonna be right, let's see, let's get it to go up, up. It's gonna be right there, where the driver goes to it. So this one didn't have the needle bar or the needle plate rather all banged up, because the needle plate, much to my surprise, not really, I'm just being sarcastical, it's actually got some steel in it, some metal, some iron. It's magnetic. It's ferrous instead of non-ferrous. See, it'll got some iron in it. So it means it's a little bit stouter, a lot thicker than that Singer one I had earlier. Nice little machine, and she's not dinged it up at all. There's not a scratch on it. That's pretty cool. So banged up the needle or the hook assembly a little bit, but not the needle plate. So get it all back together. Get it back to her tomorrow. She'll be happy as a clam. Nice little machine. The Janome 731. It's not heavy duty. It's just a nice machine that's worth the money, and I recommend it. Okay, that's high praise. Thanks.